If anyone's looking for any last minute Christmas ideas and you have a lathe and you have kids, this might be an option for you. I've made a whole bunch of tops over the years, maybe 30 or 40, and really enjoyed that. And I wanted to make one where you could use a string and a holder, so that's what I did today out of walnut. Yeah, what can I say? The holder is less intimidating than you may think. I used the table saw. Obviously, this used to be a big square blank. I used the table saw to thin this area. I thought that would look more appropriate, but it also probably wouldn't look that inappropriate if you had just turned it without these flat parts. And so it's basically just lathe work with a little bit of drilling. You want to do the drilling before you make the shape. That way everything is square, plumb, and true. And yeah, so it works really well. And in this case, this is for my 10-year-old, which is maybe the limit for a toy like this, but he's still a real child at heart and has a wonderful imagination and hasn't been corrupted yet with screens and video games and social media. So even something like this old school toy, he will enjoy. So yeah, hopefully this is inspiring to somebody. That's always kind of my hope, to get more moms and dads out there showing their kids love through hard work and in some cases some money, but also through some care and craft and talent. So yeah, really fun lathe project. It really wasn't that hard. Sometimes I've been thinking about this for several years and been intimidated by it once or twice, but really unnecessarily. These things aren't typically as hard as I make them out to be in my mind. And so, yeah, if you're thinking about it, I would say go for it. I'm going to have a few video clips after this to show you a couple tips on how I made it. Not every step of the way, but just a couple things maybe to help you visualize if you're a little nervous about it or whatever. And yeah, I've already done it several times. It works pretty good. I'm a little stuck doing it in areas where my kids won't see me doing it because I don't want to spoil it, of course. But you just wrap some string around there and then let her rip. And it's spun really well for a good long time, much better than the tops that you do by hand. So his color is green in the family. Hopefully he'll like this. And if nothing else, he'll know that I love him and he's worth spending time on. All right, folks, have a good day. Hope you liked it. If not, give it a thumbs down. Go check out Stuart Batty. He is the master of the lathe. I learned almost everything I know from him. Fantastic guy. And I hope you learn a lot from him too. All right, here's a few video clips if you're interested. If not, sign off. See ya. All right, so the top is done, and I checked it by hand to make sure it spins, and it does. It seems like sometimes, I don't know if it's an imbalance of the wood, but sometimes you make a top and it won't spin for anything, even though it's a shape you've made before. So now I'm gonna start making the handle. And basically, I just took a measurement of the OD of this and went one size larger, which in this case was, I think, 3/8. And then I just marked the center from there over to the side and then drilled, in this case, 1 inch. Of course, you can go bigger, but I was basically just choosing something basically as big as I could before I lose the integrity of the wood. So now I'm going to shape the handle. I'll do some of that on the lathe, some of that on the table saw, and I'll show that next. All right, I'm about to part this off the lathe. So I used the table saw to trim away a little bit of excess here, and then I threw it on the lathe between centers and blended it. I had to do a little bit of hand sanding right here where the table saw left some marks. I only sanded it 220 for stuff that's going to be handled and dropped, and for a kid. I just sometimes don't take the time to get all of the marks out, but I'm certain he won't notice. Anyway, so I'm going to part this off the lathe, do a little bit of more handwork, and then we'll see if she works.